Hey guys, I wanted to go over real quickly with you guys some common things that we get calls about here in the service department. Common things that can be remedied at home fairly simply without you coming in and having to do a service appointment for it, because these things can be done very easily. First thing I'm going to show you is the battery. Now, a lot of times I'll get calls on, hey, my battery's dead. I've only had it for a week or so. Well, batteries, they're cheap batteries. They're not very expensive batteries. You can get one for 35 bucks here. You can get them anywhere, Walmart, auto parts store. They're smaller size batteries. Now, you have to maintain your battery's health. So you can overcharge a battery, and if you overcharge a battery, it will kill the battery. If you leave a battery uncharged, it can kill a battery as well. It's very easy to do. So what we recommend is you get a Shoemaker battery maintainer, which is going to have an auto kill feature on the box, so that when the battery is fully charged, it stops charging it. And we recommend all those things, and we have a link on our website where you can purchase one of those. Now, to get to the battery on this specific model, you got to have a little latch in the back, and here's the battery right here. Now, to hook up the battery tender or charger to it, they usually have clamps that sit on top, or you can put a tender that hangs on. Very simple. Next thing I wanted to show you guys is a common issue that we have, which is a stuck float on a carburetor. So say you're going to start your four-wheeler up and it just keeps going over and it won't start. It's spittering and sputtering and won't stay, maintain, and idle. You've got a stuck float. The problem with these carburetors is you can't get into them and clean them out, and they have small jets, so they can gum up very easily. On these models, we have a fuel switch cutoff, and on all the models, really, there's a cutoff switch for the fuel. And if you're going to let this sit for any length of time over a week, you need to cut the fuel off and let it run until that bike dies or that vehicle dies. It means all the gas is out of that carburetor. But say you don't, and say that it won't start and that carburetor is a little gummed up, I'm going to show you what you can do to get it to start up just fine. So if you come on over here to the driver's side, left hand side, you can see it's got this fuel switch here. Alright, so you're going to change it to off. Make sure it's off, and then you're going to remove this side, or look and see where it runs, the fuel line runs into the carb, and you're going to disconnect that side of the fuel line. Okay, make sure your choke is down, and you're going to get compressed air of some sort if you have it, and put your compressed air up to this fuel line and blow air through it very slowly and try and unstick that float. You're going to see fuel come out of the air filter, out of the intake filter, and out of the overflow. And that's what you want to see. That's pushing all the excess gas that's inside of there out and cleaning it out for you, because that's what you clean it. After you see the fuel stop running out of there, you know it's good to put it back on. You're going to want to start it up, move that back on over to on, and when you start it up, make sure you hold that throttle in, and it's going to spit and sputter for a second, but then it's going to fill with gas and it's going to run just fine like a normal idle. Leave it on idle for a minute, then let go, and you're good to go. Also, another quick thing I wanted to show you is the fuse box on the battery. So I have calls sometimes saying, hey, I tried turning my bike on and it won't even try and start. No lights are coming on in the dash, no nothing. Well, that's a quick fix to that. And you take the seat off with that gold latch in the rear again, and if you follow the hot wire down, you'll find there's a fuse box down here. And that fuse box has a blown fuse in it if no lights are coming on your dash and it isn't trying to start. There's an extra fuse inside of that box. So just throw that fuse on in there and you're good to go. Also, with the spark, if it's not getting spark, we've got another video that will show and go into what to do when you don't have spark. Also want to tell you guys that everything that we've showed you today is applicable to any of the other carbureted models that we sell here. That goes into the fuse, the blowout procedure, getting that carb cleaned, and spark. All that is virtually the exact same process, just in different locations on different vehicles. It's pretty much the only thing you got to worry about. If you guys have any questions or concerns, you can give us a call at the service department, and I will happily take your call and give you as much help as I can. You guys have a good day.